Good evening, Chad. Today I was feeling a bit homosexual today, if you can't tell. So, I made this little doohickey presentation, and I made something cool, and I wanted to show it off to people, even though nobody's gonna watch this. Let's be honest, they're probably gonna like watch for yeah. Get out of here, bitch. No one wants you here anyway. No one wants you here anyway. Anyway, so um, basically, um, what is my bad. The main thing I did, basically, it's alternate universe, JoJo Part 5, and still 2001. But instead of Joseph giving back shots to some underage Japanese girl, um, he gets a little freaky deaky with a old Italian woman. The main character is Joel Nat, Nat, Naticcioni. I can't even say that right. Okay. Yeah, he's basically like Bucciolati. He's the leader of his team in Passione. The main villain is Gustavo Lake, the real mastermind of Passione. He is a traitorous, disgraced Jehovah Witness that wants the good of humanity. You'll find out more about that later. So, first off, what do we got here? Main character, right? Sexy man, tall, dark, handsome, big penis, all the good qualities. This is Joel. He's the main guy, and he's also my self-insert. Uh, yeah, this is a little picture of him that I did not draw because the most I can draw is stick figures. So yeah. Um, the rest of these I did draw though, so that's a little pat on the back to myself. So I'm not gonna read all this out. If you wanna read all this out, you can yourself. Um, but I can give you like the clip notes version if you don't want to read all that. Basically, as a child, he was beaten by his father, who was a Dutch immigrant, and his father beat him because they were poor, and his father felt like because they had a child, they couldn't survive, and this led him to become like a cold person, and yeah, basically. He killed his father after his father beat his mother to death. Yeah, I know. Extreme. Clutch your pearls, ladies. Anyway, so he's an emo boy. His favorite musician's Jimi Hendrix. His favorite story is The Odyssey. Really good book, by the way. You should read it. His favorite movie is Shrek. His favorite food is pasta alla puttanesca. I can say that, but I can't say the last name. Inspiration for his height, birthday, and history, and musician are based off me, so that's a little lore dump if you want that. And his favorite color is purple, believe it or not. Yeah, very not obvious fact. So, reason why I picked Joel as a name is because the guy looks like a goth chick. Let's be honest. He looks like a freaking emo man. He looks emo. And because I looked up like gender neutral names that start with a J, and I saw that one, I was like, huh, that's cool. I'm gonna use that. I actually kind of like it as like a name. He likes to wear suits even to occasions that don't call for it because he likes to be professional and he doesn't like want to go back to thinking that he'll be in the slums again. He doesn't want to have that feeling of being poor again. And yeah, this is my self-insert. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's also based off Kishibe from Chainsaw Man, personality-wise, because he's like a big man, and he's strong, and he's a good fighter, and he's like emotionless. So yeah. Awesome sauce. This is his stand. Purple Rain. If you don't know what a stand is, I don't think you should be watching this video, cause you got a lot to catch up on. So this is Purple Rain. Yeah, it's my favorite song. That's why I made it my stand. Sorry, his stand. My bad. And basically, it has two forms, which are this umbrella and this guy right here. So this is like its normal form as an umbrella that Joel can like hold in his hand, and basically, uh, it produces acid, or like in quotes acid, because it's not really acid. Um, but we'll get into that in a sec. So basically, it trickles the acid off the side of it, so it would look like if it would look like as if it was raining, even though it's just like falling off the side of the umbrella and not actually like landing on it and falling off. Um, and then it's the humanoid form, and he can like pick whichever one he wants to do. It doesn't matter. Oh, also, the umbrella, he can change the size of it, to about 20 meters wide. But since the acid only falls off the side, it doesn't really help all that much unless he was like trying to chase after someone with the acid or something like that. Um, the humanoid form is very fast, and instead of dripping the acid off the side, it produces it from its fingertips and palms. Um, the acid it produces is a lot slower to come out than the umbrella form, but it is like a lot faster stance. So if you were like trying to like speed blitz somebody, it would be like the better option. It's sentient, kind of like a Golden Experience Requiem, and how it's like mechanical talking, and it's very friendly, actually, despite the user and its whole ability. To get to the in air quotes acid thing, the acid isn't actually acid. What it is, it's water that is filled with billions and trillions of microscopic stands that are purple in color, and they live inside the water, and they are like flesh-eating tardigrades, and which is why you would think that it would be acid, but it's not. It's just water with the small stands in them. Yeah, that's basically it. That's the description. If you want to pause and read it, I wouldn't, because it's really long, but whatever, if you want to. Um, these are the stats. Pretty good. I really wanted to give it like some cool power up, like Go Beyond or Requiem or something, but I couldn't think of anything, and that's really disappointing. I'll probably think of something soon and make like a update or something. Probably won't, cause I'm a lazy fuck, and school's kind of raping my asshole right now, fellas. Not even gonna lie. Um, yeah, anyway. So, basically, remember how I said Joel is like the leader of his like mafia team? So there's five of them. Yeah, all of them are orphans. Take and Joel is they're all children, right? They're all underage. They're all minors. And basically Joel was the first to be taken in by Passione, which is the gang organization. You should know that. Um, and he basically acts as like a fatherly figure to his fellow gang mates in his team. So since he's the oldest, he's the leader, and yeah. I also, don't worry, I didn't write lore for every single character. I only wrote the stuff down for their abilities, like stance. That's all I wrote. Yeah, I I already had Joel's like planned out, but I did one for the next stand that we're gonna talk about, but I deleted it accidentally when I was wiping my computer because it was full of memory. Anyway, so sorry, I'm scratching my balls. Next one we got is Wake Up. So Wake Up is basically like a gun wielding scarecrow with no legs. It has like roots instead of legs, and it like attaches to the user's back. So it has like a very short like body range, but since it has guns, it has uh, a bee in range because it has guns. So basically, yeah, I know it's a really shitty drawing, but I tried my best. Um, it basically holds two Smith and Wesson. You can't see it in there because once again, shitty drawing. But it's supposed to hold like two Smith and Wesson revolvers. Um, and what it does is if it shoots someone 3 times, with the bullets, they basically get sent into like a genjutsu from Naruto, which is basically like a dreamlike state or like a hallucination in your mind. Um, so it's like a dreamlike world, and in this case, with Wake Up, it's a place that you've been before in the past, like so, like liminal space, nostalgia, all that stuff, all that good gritty. Um, it's not always something like that you have fond memories about. It can also be a place where you have regret towards. Um, However, if you have zero regrets, um, and you're shot 3 times, then the ability won't work on you. Um, it can also be used on someone who is about to die by giving them a peaceful dream of the past and basically like like living like that whole thing. I don't remember what it was. It was like a show I watched, and he made a person live like a full life in like a minute or something, and I thought that was really cool. I don't remember what show that was. If you know, tell me, because I really liked it. Or was a movie. I don't remember. Basically, they have a 30-second head start once they enter the dream world before Wake Up comes after them, and this form has actual legs. It doesn't have guns, but it has very, very razor sharp claws. Um, and since it's technically a dream, you can't use your stand. Um, and even if you had your stand, it doesn't really matter since you can't damage it in the dream. The only way to like wake up Funny. To wake up from the dream is to like face your regrets and and not like feel guilty over the past things you've done. But if you can do that, then you'll wake up and you'll be perfectly fine and the ability won't affect you anymore. But if it catches you, you're kind of fucked. So, you better start running, fellas. Um, yeah. If you want to know a little bit more about like inspiration and stuff, I have a little thing down here that you can read if you want to do that. But yeah. Um, what the heck? Oh, I accidentally went up a slide. My bad. I'm stupid. Okay. This one's a little stupid and a little OP at the same time. So basically, Tender Lovers, which is a reference to Tender Lover by Babyface. Um, Basically, it's two floating lips that can summon knives. This is what they look like. Summon knives in their mouth, and they like hold the knives with their teeth, and they like float around and like cut people up with them. And so basically, that's really weird, obviously, but their ability is basically to to make things more tender, to basically decrease the amount of force needed to cut or sever or like destroy something. So it's like a negative of like in Pokemon. If you use like those status effect moves, it's kind of like that, but for like defense. Um, the lips are like dog shit when it comes to like fighting. They're very fast, and they can also bite, but if they get hit once, they're kind of fucked because they're like really weak defensively. They have zero durability, like basically none. Um, the word tender means easily cut, and yeah, this is basically. They also have like they also since there's two of them, they make out with each other while fighting, which I thought was pretty cool. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Nano, 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 nano. Oh, I didn't mean to put gays. I meant guys. Well, whatever. There's a lot of gays that like Weezer anyway, so it's whatever. Um, so basically, this is like this is supposed to be like lungs right here, and that's like an esophagus, and that's ribs, and this is meant like a grid, and that's the Weezer W right there. I'm just saying that because I don't think you can see it that well because one, that's a shitty picture, and two, because yeah. Um, Basically, it is a robotic humanoid that can emit different gases from its mouth that it creates in its lungs. So these there's a lot there there's a lot of different gases that it can make, and it even can create even like new elements and stuff in its like body. It's really cool. But once it like combines elements with each other, it makes like different gases. So like the Pinkerton gas, is like a black gas that smells bad and it like obscures vision from people. Only in dreams, like is a blue colored gas that puts people to sleep. I swear it's true, which is a white and black colored gas that makes a target more prone to believing. There's a lot of different gases that it can make. These are just like the three that I thought of off the top of my head, but basically it's really OP, actually, genuinely. Um, this is actually my favorite band, and I will not tolerate any Weezer. Actually, I will tolerate some Weezer slander, specifically for Ratitude. Anyway, fellas, let's move on. Alright, now I know this is a little weird. This is a weird one to make into an act stand, but trust the process. So basically, Act 1, it basically is just a dude that can turn himself into rebar and electrified wires and just produce electricity from his hands. So it's basically like stone free, but it can produce electricity and it's made of metal and wire instead of string. Basically, that's Act 1. Act 2 of Thunderstruck is the same is has the same ability as the first time, but if the user touches someone or touches them with the rebar or touches them with the wire or touches them with the actual stand right here, which is like a bunch of lightning condensed together. If it touches any part of the user or its ability in general, it can manipulate their nerve systems and like control their bodies for like a short time. But that the moment it leaves contact, they'll stop being under control. So that's Act 2 and Act 3. So Thunderstruck Act 3 is the same thing as Act 2, but basically it has a way wider range of controlling other people, and it can also like manipulate technology with electric currents, like Paisley Park. Yeah. Well, it's alright. I wanted to make this because my mom likes AC/DC, so I wanted to show her this, and I thought she'd like it. Anyway, here's something interesting. I think I might be one of the few people who's made like a stand that's not a punch ghost. That's like a phenomenon type stand. So this is YMCA. So this is basically it's a building that appears in places where there are people that need it, and people that need it are like people that are poor or down on their luck and like don't have money or a job or anything like that. So basically, it travels around the world. It has an infinite range. It can go anywhere, but it will stay in the same city as long as someone needs it. So it won't force you to come to it, but it will give you suggestions. Like it'll give you an ad in the newspaper, or you'll see a pamphlet on the ground or something. And it does this about 3 times every day for 3 days straight. And if you ignore the advertisements and don't come to the building, it will leave you alone. But if you do decide to come to the building, and you walk in, it's filled with people without faces that wear uniforms with walkie-talkies, and they will help you in any possible way they can, whether it be getting you a job or getting you food or money or anything that you need to help you get back to uh, zero instead of negative. Basically, is what it is. So yeah, pretty cool. It's a phenomenon type stand, not punch ghost. But yeah, awesome. Also, if you want to read the history, it's right there. Um, yeah, we're kind of short on time, so I gotta hurry up. Next we got the side characters. These are not part of the main crew. nor are they like villains. So think like Hayato from Part 4 or something, or like um what's his face with Highway Star, whatever that guy's name is. I don't I don't remember. Oh yeah, Fungami. Yeah, I remember. So it's basically people like that they're on the side of the good guys, but they're not like in every episode. They're not like recurring characters. Well, they are recurring characters, but they don't show up a lot. First one we got is Prozac Blues, which is the stand of a retired physician, and it is. I really nerded out. I did some research. It's really cool. It was really cool looking this up. So it's basically a like light blue. It basically looks like a big cloud, like when it's about to rain, where it's like big and like dark blue and stuff like that. Yeah, it's like it looks like that. It's got like a sad face and it's got like tears, but it's like all made of gas. And the gas that it's made of is fluoxetine, which is a uh, part of Prozac. It's what's inside the drug Prozac, um, which is an antidepressant. So basically, if you ingest this gas that it is constantly producing, it can't stop producing it. Um, it can manipulate your body and your emotions and your mind as a whole. So if you ingest this gas, it will take control of your emotions and can push you in positive and negative ways. Like it could actually act as an antidepressant and make you happy, or it could make you sad and force you to like commit suicide or something. And if you ingest too much of it, it'll cause you to die of drug overdose. Um, there's also the thing with if you are affected by the gas, people will want more of it. So they won't even resist because yeah. Anyway, it's a King Crimson song. I listened to it. I thought, man, this is a really good song. I want to look this up. I looked that shit up. I thought it was really cool. And yeah, just a floating gas guy. Looks like a fart. All right, fellas, let's keep going. Oh, also, since it's like made of gas, it's intangible, so you can't like damage the stand. You have to like damage the user like directly, which is a little OP, but you know, whatever. Next week, no, this one's a real yap session. So, this one is also an ally. It is Allegro con brio, which is part of Beethoven's Fifth Symphony in C minor. And the user is deaf. Um, basically, well, it's like the great grandson of Ludwig. God damn it, I can't speak. Ludwig von Beethoven. It's like his great grandson, and that's probably a few more greats, but whatever. So it's like his great grandson. He's also deaf, and this is his stand. So I didn't get a picture of it because I cannot draw this thing. It is way too badass, and I would completely mess up my perception of it. So it's basically like a big buff guy, and it has like note designs all along its body. Like it has like quarter notes on its like shoulders or something. It has like a stat, like the music staff. It has that as in like its hair and in its cape, and it's purple, black, and gold. And it looks really cool in my head, but I can't draw it because I'm not good enough to draw it. But yeah, basically, what it can do is manipulate sounds and sound waves and materialize. So it's basically like echoes and in a silent way from part 7. So what it does is it has, those two's abilities of, like using sounds, making visible objects, and having those sounds have the effects that the sounds are for. But it also has the added effect of being able to make new notes and staffs, and like rests and stuff like that. So basically, it can make you, it can change you by using like music. I call this ability real life music composition. And basically, it can like create notes and stuff, and if you touch them, then they will affect you. So, like, say if you have if you get hit with an eighth note rest, You'd have to rest for 4 beats, aka 4 seconds. So if you touched it, you'd be unable to move for like 4 seconds. It can even make like the longest rest that there is, a longa rest, which will force you to stop for like 16 seconds. It can also increase or decrease the speed at which things move by uh, increasing the tempo. And I just thought that this was like a whole rabbit hole that I could go down, and I thought it was really cool. And I play clarinet sometimes. I'm not that good at it, and I'm not that good at reading sheet music, but I'm sure like if you were like really really good, you could think of like a bunch of stuff that this thing could do. But yeah, it's really cool in my opinion. I think it's a really cool ability, and I thought this up all by myself. It took me a year, believe it or not, chat. It did. It did. It took me a year to get this out. This is the product of a lot going on in my life, chat, believe it or not. So, yeah, that's this one. And yeah. Next one. We got the side villains. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So basically, La Squadra from Part 5, but my versions. We got Hypnotize, who is the leader of the enemy team. Name is the ability. It's named after the Notorious B.I.G. song, named after Biggie. It's basically a very tall, not that kind of black guy, but like the color black guy. In a black bowler hat and black overcoat, who's like completely shrouded in shadows and like hides his arms, but his eyes are like spiral orange like this, and with just a word from his user, uh, it like turns people into like devoted fans that will listen to their every command, no matter what. Um, and this is only like a recently awakened stand, so its entire like possibility, what the eyes are for, is like unknown. And yeah, hypnotize, awesome. And I wanted, there's a lot of Biggie and AC/DC references in here because that's my mom's favorite band, AC/DC, and she also really likes Biggie a lot. I do too. Next we got Sweet Child of Mine. This is a terrible drawing of it. Basically, it takes the form of, like a small, little girl that has, slashes from Guns N' Roses, has his hair, basically, and that's basically what it's really supposed to look like. But if someone else looks at it, it'll take the form of a person or friend from the past that they have nostalgia for, and yeah. Basically, it causes extreme nostalgia. I gotta hurry this up. It's almost time for bed, chat. It causes extreme nostalgia in people, and it can store the memories of its user in its hair, which that they can use to recreate memories and make other people experience their memories. So if the user got hit by a car and had that memory in the hair, then they could force someone else to get like hit by a car or something like that. Pretty cool. Anyway, Freak on a Leash, basically it's the brother of the guy who's the stand user of Wake Up, and it's like a rabid animal with like Edward Scissorhand hands, like knife hands. And what it does is you have to give up one of your senses, and it will relentlessly chase someone. Oh yeah, you have to give up one of your senses. You have to know the full name of the person, and you have to look at a picture of them. Um, and once you do that, it will endlessly pursue them, even if the user dies. Um, it will pursue the person until they die, and there is no way to stop it. Once it starts, it doesn't stop. Unless you like fully destroyed it, which is kind of hard to do since it's a stand. Next we have Master of Puppets. It's a this guy can summon two like big ass master hands from like Super Smash Bros. And shit, and they have like strings. I'm speaking really fast because it's almost time for bed. They have strings and air quotes, which are like little tubes that they inject methamphetamine into other people, and it lets them control them. It's the same thing with like Prozac Blues, where it like makes them want more. But if they don't constantly get it, then instead of like getting cured, then they will turn against the user and like attack them, basically. And the hands can also like, the giant hands can also like grab people or slap or like punch people, and yeah. And the strings can also like cut people, like say piano wire or something, and they can also like tangle people up. Ride the Lightning. It can basically create like the like Greek lightning bolts, in like its hands that like Hephaestus makes for Zeus. Um, it emits small sparks constantly that are like a stun gun, and it can control any kind of lightning it creates. So the lightning it creates isn't really like lightning, it's like a physical solid object. Yeah. Anyway, uh, now we got the main villain stand, which is Lark's Tongue and Aspic. Yeah, I know, that was a weird name. I'm not gonna read all this. I don't have enough time before it's time for bed. It's basically light manipulation, light, light and, more light manipulation, light and shadow manipulation, better light and better shadow manipulation, and then the final form, which is Act 5. Basically, its ability is the same thing, and it can put everyone on Earth to sleep and give them endless happiness and dreams.